Like it. Type.
Yeah.
Wow, she's good.
We're going to have spent 40k by the end of the day.
No. I have a strict job and I'm sticking by it. That's why I'm on my best behaviour.
But how long do you think?
Oh my god. I'm here. I was saying I wish they brought Nate back. Was his name Nate from South Africa? I completely forgot about the menace that is Lois. I love Lois. I love him. He's a menace and I'm here for him. I'm not sure about Flavia. I don't think they should have brought Flavia, but Lois, he's the menace you need on a show like Too Hot to Handle, because he's going to drain that pot. And the girls are like dogs in heat. They can't restrain themselves enough. Like Kalisha, Louis, I think, knew to stay clear of her because otherwise you'd have drained the pot within one sitting. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Too Hot to Handle, Season 6, Episode 2. So you have Bree and Charlie, they're now in the banishment room. It's like they took a little storeroom and they just converted it into bunk beds and a little desk, and then they have a little side room that they have a TV on. And so they are told that they're going to be banished for 24 hours. Which means they have no contact with the other guests until then, or that's the implication that, it's implied that they're going to go back to the other guests once 24 hours are up. And it's like, do you think seriously they would have done some work in 24 hours? I don't know. On the bright side, I think Lana decided to send Bree and Charlie, because had she sent Charlie with Gianna, it would have been a done deal. They would have come out of there with a baby then. Anyway, the rest of the guests leave the cabana. They got ready for bed, and everyone, they really didn't seem that sad that the two guests had gone, really. They didn't seem that sad. They got into bed, they went to sleep, and in the morning, Lana sort of revealed to the guests that she's bringing back two former guests. And it's like, why? Why would you bring back two former guests unless you know that they're popular with the viewers and you want to increase the ratings? Has Netflix casting run out of people to cast? Make it make sense. Everyone starts calling out who they want. And it seems, even though Gianna and Joao shared a bed, it seemed whatever they were hoping for didn't sort of fan out. It seemed the flame just fizzled out as soon as they got into bed together. And it's like, oh, so it was just a lust situation. Not even a lust situation, because they didn't have sex. So I don't even understand how that has sort of gone away. They sort of start to count who had sex. I think before they left the cabana, they'd counted who kissed Charlie, who kissed Bree, and people were feeling some type of way. The girls were surprised that Charlie had just been lip-syncing everybody in the resort. So in the morning, people start when they find out from London that two former guests are coming back. Everyone is starting to sort of call off a list of who they want to come back. And for me, what was his name? Was it Nathan? The South African guy? I liked him. I wouldn't mind him coming back. I really wouldn't mind him coming back. I liked Nick, but because of all the issues that happened after his season and no. So I prefer if they brought back Nathan from South Africa. Oh, he was on something. Anyway, the banished guests are then told that, they're given paper clips and they're told to count the paper clips. And it's like, this is mean. They're told to count the paper clips. Once you have a number, let me go. And I don't get why the guests never ask, what if we get it wrong? Tell us what will go wrong or what could go right. What is the reward and what is the negative for us not getting it right? But people just continue. I don't know whether it's because they're not allowed to ask questions or whether they're just not forward thinking, but I think it's maybe because they're not allowed to ask questions. Everybody else in the other guests are told, at brunch they'll meet the two former guests that are coming back. So everyone is, washing up. They want to look their best. They want to see. And it's like, you're not allowed to make out with these people. You're not allowed to do whatever. So why are you so excited? Make it make sense? Did I forget my favorite? How did I forget my favorite from last season, if I'm not mistaken? So Lana brings back Flavia, and of course my favorite, Loe, the London boy. Loe is crazy. I love him. I know in this season he had a lot of issues and he struggled to create a connection until eventually he was able to create one. So I hope this time he's on his best behavior. The girls were already saying we hope she brings back Loe, and when she did, oh my God, they wanted to eat him alive. They really wanted to eat him alive because all the girls were flirting. You had Gianna, Lucy, Kalisha. Oh, Kalisha was going to sit on his lap. if he wasn't sat at the table. I'm surprised she didn't drag him somewhere, because he knows himself and the girls know his reputation. So it's not surprising that they were all going in and they were making, their intentions known, that they really were interested in him. Catherine, everyone was, if they had their way, I think if there was no production, if there was no cameras and security, people would have fought for Louis. People would have fought. And I'm surprised he's still single, unless he got out of a relationship so that he could come and do Netflix a favor. Lana reveals to him that he will have to sit down with the girls, get to know the girls, and then at the end of the day, he'll have to choose one person. And Kalisha is making it known that she is ready to go. The fact that, she was asked, who's your type, and she went, you. And somebody said, oh, so how long do you think you can go without, being tempted? And she went all the time. And it was like, oh my God, even he was scared. He was scared, because you had Lucy saying, oh, you and Kalisha, you look like you could spend 40K in one go. And it's like, I don't think it's just 40K. I think they're willing to spend more. Flavia, you had the boys. You have the typical Jordan and Joao beef. And it's like, please sit down. We're really not it. We're really not feeling it. I don't know why they started off with Flavia. I think there are other girls that they could have brought in, but if they feel like Flavia is it, she's pretty, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she is the one. Just because you only have one dynamic of boys that like her. With Damari and Charlie, they don't really seem as taken by her as the other two guys, whereas with Louis, all the girls want him. All the girls are ready to pounce on him. They are trying to strategize in their heads that, how do I get him to pick me? So I don't know whether Flavia was the best pick for now. I think they could have done a lot better in regards to the first girl to walk in, or the first returnee. So you have Lana and Flavia being tasked with going on, well, sort of like, they were more or less mini dates with the guests, and then they were told that at the end of the day, they would have to choose who they wanted to go on a date with. I think for Louis, was very strategic in the sense that he left out the person he knew was going to tempt him, which was Kalisha. I think he knew with Kalisha was going to break the rules. There was no doubt. I don't know whether he's been tasked with waiting so many hours before he breaks the rules or whatever, but there was no way he wasn't going to break the rules with Kalisha. He went on a date with Lucy, and they seemed to really flirt and sort of get each other's banter because they're both from the UK. He also had a sort of a mini date with Gianna. I personally feel like how Louis ranked it was, he knew he was going to break the rules with Kalisha, so he took her out completely. Gianna and Lucy, he was attracted to them and was afraid that they might tempt him. Yes, it might take a bit longer than Kalisha, but he knew they would tempt him. And so I feel like this is why he suddenly decided to go for Catherine. I think Catherine is the person he was least attracted to and the person he knew he was least likely to break the rules with. And this is why he chose to go on a date with her, because there's nothing else that makes sense to me, because of the way he was behaving with the other girls, to suddenly think that he feels like this is the most attractive person and this is the person. No, I feel like he was worried that he was going to break the rules with all the other girls, and so he's gone for the girl that is seen as the safest option. I don't like the fact that you have Charlie and Bree, wasting money like they're at some strip club or whatever, because they were tempted by bad Lana to say, do you want to see the date? Well, the conversations that Louis was having, and you had Charlie pay $5,000 to watch that, and it's like, there's nothing really serious happening. Bree, she paid $5,000 to watch Damari having a conversation with Flavia, and it's like, seriously, you've just met these people a couple of hours, you've just kissed them, and now you want to spend all that money. Make it make sense. With Flavia, she had conversations. I don't quite remember Flavia's date with Chris. I really don't. I know she spoke to Jordan, and Jordan was trying to flirt with her in Spanish because he said he spent some time in Barcelona, so he was trying to make the most of it. She spoke to Damari. Yeah, it was a bit oaks galore. I think she decided to go with the less of the two, and then she spent time with Jordan, and Jordan was just playing on his surfer dude, stinked, and she ended up choosing Jordan. I don't get it. I really don't get what she found attractive about him. Or maybe like Louis, she's decided to go for the person she's least attracted to. because otherwise it doesn't make sense, because he's a knockoff version of the guy of Creed. So I don't get why she would have chosen him. I really don't, and I'm still baffled by that. Just as I don't get why she came in first of all the other girls that have been on the past seasons. I think there are people that would have been better picks. Anyway, so for the final decision, you had Charlie and Brie pay more money. So they've already spent 15,000, and it's like, seriously, the people in the main, villa might as well make out for that money and know that they've gained something than for you to just sit there and watch. All I can say is wow. I had never seen anyone experience an ick in real life, and watching it was cringe. I wanted to hide. I wanted to curl into fetal position and just hide, because you had Flavia take on a date Jordan. I think because she said she wanted a nice guy, so she didn't want the rocker Joao, so she thought, let me go with him. Because if she wanted a nice guy, she could have gone with Dimari. That's just what I'm going to say. But she decided to go with Jordan, and you could see the moment she got an ick when he started talking about the wind and where's the wind from, and him telling her that he lives with his mom just didn't make things any better. It actually made things worse. And so he asked her, oh, am I sharing a bed with you? And she said, let's play it by ear. And it's like, that's someone telling you no in a polite way. She's just telling you that no, next. And I personally don't even know why she chose him. I really don't. Because apart from his LA surfer boy stink, I don't think there's anything else stand out about him. He's not the best of looking people, so I don't get it. Louis decided to go with Catherine. He already crossed out Kalisha because I think he knew with Kalisha was going to fold. He was just going to fold like a tissue. So he decided, oh, let me go with Catherine, I think, because he thought she's the lesser of the three. And Louis, I think anything with a pulse will tempt him. Anything with a pulse, even a robot, I think will tempt him. The fact that she managed to get him to fold and kiss her, it's like, wow. What if Netflix told him that we're going to be penalizing you every time, you kiss someone? He's going to go home with no paycheck. He's going to go home with no paycheck because he's already kissed someone, and he's now talking about sharing a bed with her. And it's like, Louis, maybe you're better off with Kalisha. You'd have had the ride of your life. Catherine, I don't think so as much. I think Catherine just wants to be the one who sort of had a taste of you first. That's the impression that I get. So now these people, it's barely been 24 hours and already they've spent what? So if they spent 5 for the case plus the 15 that was spent in with the ones that are confined, that means they've already spent 20K. So they're now at 230,000. It's like, make it make sense. Please, make it make sense. Anyway, you have Joao go and have a conversation with Flavia. I think the producers realized that Jordan hadn't been able to make a dent, so they wanted someone else. I think they saw the awkwardness that was Jordan and Flavia's date. He pulled her for a chat. According to Flavia, this is the type of guy that she normally dates, so this is why she didn't want to go on a date with him. They have a conversation about, the date that Flavia and Jordan went on, how it went, how she felt, whether there was a spark there, whether she felt that she was going to share a bed with him. And you could tell she really wasn't feeling Jordan. She was trying to be polite, but she wasn't feeling him. And I personally feel like if she didn't want to break the rules, she should have stayed with Jordan. But I think the producers realized that this was very awkward and was going to be difficult to watch. So I think this is why they sent in a plan B. Flavia was asked by, Joao, do you want to share a bed? And she sort of and add and said, well, let's play it by ear. I think she's still trying to see who she can get a connection with. My money is she's going to go with the knockoff Creed. She's going to go with Charlie. That's my impression, that she's going to end up with Charlie because he's a knockoff of Creed, and that seems to be more her type. This little Joao seems more like Seb, if you remember Seb from season 4. Anyway, they then have the two sort of guests in the banishment be told, Charlie and Brie be told that they're now coming out of banishment. Their banishment is finished. They're ecstatic because it's now 24 hours and they can go and chill with the rest of the guests in the villa. And it's like, okay, that's good. You then have the guests be told to gather in the cabana because everyone wants to know what's happened. Because when you had Louis come from his date, he was asked by the guys, did you kiss anyone? Did you do this, that, and the other? And he was adamant that no, he didn't. So when they were called to the cabana, everybody knew that something was off. Something was definitely off. And so they sat down, and then it was revealed that somebody had broken the rules and they needed to own up. And you have Catherine and Louis sort of trying to sort of keep it a secret. And it's like, you're on reality TV. You're being filmed 24/7. There are cameras everywhere. Why would you think they wouldn't out your kiss? What's so special about the two of you? You have Lana give them a clock of 30 seconds because they wouldn't own up. And eventually you had Louis sort of own up to say, yeah, Catherine and I shared a kiss. And everyone was upset. They were upset with Louis because they were saying to Louis, you're supposed to be the example, and yet you're the one who's breaking the rules first. And it's like, well, tell the girls to settle down. The girls saw him, how he moved wild. Even Chris called him a menace. So I don't get why you're all shocked that he kissed someone. I'm more shocked that he only kissed one person and he didn't kiss all the girls, because that's a Louis type of thing. And everyone is furious. So Lana acknowledges that, yes, there's that 6,000 that was spent, but there's also another 15,000. And so everybody's tempers were rising because they were saying, Louis, you can't be doing this. And he said, no, I didn't. I only spent the one on the kiss that I told you that it was in the moment, but that was it. Lana later reveals that, the people that spent the 15K are not in the cabana at the moment. It's the people in banishment. So the people in banishment are coming back. And it's like, oh my God, it's going to be a mess. Because people are starting to think, what? Did, Charlie and Bree have sex? How did they spend 15K? What did they do? And it's like, oh, don't worry. Wait, you'll find out soon. It was great. It was great, but slow. I still feel like they shouldn't have brought Flavia. I think if they're going to bring Louis for the girls, they should have brought somebody else. Flavia's good looking, but her personality, is not as in your face like Charlie. So they should have maybe brought another girl who's not her. But anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 1. Bye guys.